great to see you. I warned you of this first question. I didn't warn you of any of the other questions. Give me and our viewers and listeners the 30-second definition of a cryptocurrency.
Sure. In a nutshell, cryptocurrency is a form of digital currency. They use the cryptography, technology to secure any transactions, and it's quite different because they don't need a third party like a bank to verify any transactions. Instead, all the transactions are recorded in distributed ledger, public ledger, called blockchain, and all the digital currencies are stored in a wallet, a digital wallet, and as long as there is an internet, you can use digital currency. So it's very convenient.
And one of the crucial things, and we'll come to this in the context of Hong Kong, China, Ukraine and Russia in just a moment, but it's outside of the normal reach of the authorities and of governments, isn't it? It's between you guys and gals who do it.
Well, effectively, yes, it is between the peer-to-peer transactions, right? But right now, at the beginning, governments want to stop this cryptocurrency because there are a lot of illegal tradings, right? But the government right now find that it's actually impossible to stop this. As long as you've got internet, there is a cryptocurrency transactions. And what a lot of governments are doing right now is actually to regulate. I think right now the regulating is actually getting more and more stringent. And I think it's good. It's good for the development of the whole cryptocurrencies.
And is that self-regulation?
Well, they are regulating the exchanges, the cryptocurrency exchanges. And I think it's getting more and more stringent. And then we'll talk about KYC, AML transactions check. I think this is actually good for development, a good trend for development of the whole cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and final point on this, because you wouldn't demur from my charge that in the public media, in the public domain, if you say cryptocurrency to some people, they immediately think of bad guys, money laundering, and the dark side of the economy.
Well, this is actually in the past, and I've been talking to many fund managers, global fund managers, and I've talked, and
that's your point about regulation.
Yeah, exactly.
Come clean, come open.
Exactly.
Okay. So, why is it appropriate as a means of channeling aid, and you've been enormously generous yourself, and your fund, Himalaya, to Ukraine, to the people there who are in such great need? I mean, can you buy a blanket with a Bitcoin?
Well, effectively, yes. I mean, as long as the merchants accept the cryptocurrencies, you can literally buy anything. Right. Take my exchange example. I mean, I'm a founder of a foreign crypto exchange, and basically, a lot of donations are through the cryptos, and we use the cryptos to buy a lot of things. I mean, I've also formed a charity called Hong Kong People Association.
Yes.
We use all the donations to buy a lot of medical supplies, and actually, we have colleagues going to Poland, donate all these medical supplies. I think in this, humanitarian disaster, speed is very important. We have to have the speed.
Yeah.
And right now, actually, it's almost impossible for fiat currencies to donate to the country.
Is the supplier of the blanket and the food stuff and the medical supplies, are they being paid in cryptocurrency, or is the cryptocurrency funding dollars?
I think it's a quick way to donate in cryptocurrencies. Yeah. Of course, you can cash out and buy the medical supplies and buy the things. And there are some merchants, they actually accept cryptocurrencies, and you can buy things from these merchants.
Yeah. The Ukrainian government, I found this fascinating when I was researching the fact that you and I were going to be having this conversation. Zelensky, who is very much a modern man, that's perfectly clear.
Yes.
He's bought into it in a big way. $100 million.
Yes, exactly. They raise more than $100 million US right now. I think, and this is not the first time that cryptocurrencies are helping in this situation, right? We see the Republic of Congo, for example. Last year there was a volcano, issues, and basically they have the lightning torch program that you have a lot of people. And, we see the Bitcoin Beach projects in El Salvador, for example. So actually in an emergency situation, or in a lot of grassroots movements, actually cryptocurrencies can help.
Yeah.
Can help the society.
It's also important, and it goes right back to the beginning, when I asked you to define what it is and what its relationship is with the authorities and transparency and regulation. Your first trailblazing operation in terms of up against an authority with whom you were not entirely comfortable was in Hong Kong, so Beijing was not aware of what you were doing or couldn't interfere with what you were doing.
Well, in a way, yes. Okay,
it's pretty gutsy.
I mean, put it this way. I'm from Hong Kong, and actually, I feel the pains of Ukrainians. I really feel that. I mean, I'm very concerned what happens in Ukraine today, what happens in Taiwan tomorrow. This is my concern. So that's why I want to...
Don't interrupt you. That's a crucial point. Do you feel as angry with us, then, for having given Hong Kong back to Beijing as you feel about Russia invading Ukraine?
Well, actually, there is basic laws, right? There is agreements between, Britain and China, right? But the problem is actually, the promise is 50 years, there's no change in legal system, everything. But right now, I have a concern.
So what Chris Patton, Lord Patton, delivered would have been OK if everybody had stuck to it, but it's exactly the same as Ukraine. Well, if Russia had stuck to the treaty that guaranteed a non-nuclear Ukraine, it wouldn't have happened. Yes. You're going to have to come back, because that's another conversation, because I do want to ask you, we've got a couple of minutes left, William. Just park cryptocurrency for a moment. You had a hugely successful career before that as an investment banker, as it were, in the traditional world. How worried are you about the current energy crisis, global energy crisis, and cost of living here in the UK? Well,
I'm very worried. Not just because of Ukraine wars. My concern is actually, people are asking, when the Ukraine war will finish. Actually, I'm very concerned. It's the beginning of the crisis, of more wars. So this is my concern. Obviously,
as Zelensky said, if he gets away with Ukraine, where next?
Exactly. So I think as I mentioned earlier, right? So I'm very concerned in Taiwan, and globally, I think the invasion to Ukraine has actually changed the geopolitical and economic situation. So globally, and my concern is actually oil prices will continue to go up, not just because of the war in Ukraine. It's actually there will be more happening, and I'm even concerned that the axis of evil are forming, a new axis of evil are forming. This is my concern.
If you were still investment banking right now, forget cryptocurrency again for a moment, would you be buying into the oil companies? Would you be buying into future stocks of crude oil? What would your market position be on the energy prices?
Yes, definitely. Oil, definitely, personally, I see the oil prices will continue to go up, and food prices, inflation, and its cost of living, everything. And as I just mentioned, it's not just because of this war. It's because it's the beginning of a bigger war happening. So this is my concern. And actually, cryptocurrencies, going back to cryptocurrency, actually, cryptocurrency is a good way for the general public, for the people, to escape from the oppression of the authoritarian regime. So I think this is very, very important. And personally, I think the cryptocurrency market will continue to increase.
All right, William, a real pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much for spending so much time with us explaining what it is.